Coming up on Falcon 5 News, a BGSU student organization is on the move, looking for a place to pray. Testing your physical limits, some students are discovering what they can do through aerial performing. And we'll take you to Kentucky to meet some farmers who are making sure the lamb population continues to grow. Those stories and more are next on Falcon 5 News.
Live from the campus of Bowling Green State University, this is Falcon 5 News.
Building renovations are happening all across the BGSU campus, and that's affecting many student organizations. McKenna Rodriguez joins us in the studio to tell us how. McKenna?
Thanks, Sheree. The latest renovation is of Hannah Hall. The College of Business will move in when the renovation is completed, and that will have a domino effect. The move will force the Gish Film Theater, the Women's Center, and their prayer room to find a new home. Muslim Student Association prayer room is currently located in the basement of Hannah Hall. However, the building will undergo renovations starting in May. That means the MSA prayer room needs to relocate. MSA's members don't know the location of the new room. Still, they have concerns about the accommodations for the new space.
So as you see, we had here approximately during prayer like 50 people, right? And it's almost packed. And you didn't see any women, right? The thing is, according to Islamic tradition, normally we have separate rooms. And because we have just one room, women are not feeling comfortable coming there. So our first priority here is having separate room for them as well.
MSA hopes its new space is accepting to the women of the Islamic culture and gives them enough space to partake in other activities with everyone in the community.
We also come here also to socialize and to share our culture, to share our, like to speak to, I mean, as you see, we have the ping pong table here, to play, to eat, like to speak.
MSA members also hope their new space will be more inviting than the basement they are located in now.
Since we're at Hannah Hall, we're kind of here where it's very hard to reach. For people to reach us, I think a new room would be a much better opportunity for us to communicate with everyone.
The Muslim Student Association invites all people to learn about and participate in its culture. Sheree?
A red carpet, suits and ties, and ball gowns. It was all part of an evening for BGSU students and faculty. As Shalon Stevens found out, they embraced unity with a touch of glitter.
The Poole and Powell Foundation hosted their first scholarship ball at the Bowman-Thompson Student Union. Poole and Powell Foundation is celebrating 3 years of giving scholarships to multicultural students on Bowling Green State University campus. All the proceeds made at their events go towards scholarship funds.
So myself and Gerard started this foundation here on campus 3 years ago. And so since then, we've been working as a team to come and still bring great events to the students and also honor some of their great things that they are doing here on campus.
Keynote speaker and BGSU alumna Sheridan Norfolk spoke about the steps to success and encouraged students to find their passion.
I want to create an event that was just for the people, for the students right at that. So on February 20th, 2015, we hosted our first Wild Out, and as a part of the planning process, we wanted to do something that was unique to us. And it started like, let's give away all the money that we gave back by giving a scholarship away.
2 BGSU female students were awarded the Poole and Powell Scholarship for their hard work and devotion to spreading unity on BGSU campus.
Taking a look into the past at some of our previous scholarship winners, and we will also look to the future on some things that we will be doing.
After receiving that award for unity and uniting people on campus, I was able to go through and feel a little bit more empowered as a leader. I had pretty much a voice, I had an outlet, I had an organization that could support me.
Poole and Powell hope to grow and acknowledge more students on campus who are making a change in the community. For Falcon 5 News, I'm Shalon Stevens.
When many of us grew up, we enjoyed watching the circus, and we thought that working in the circus would be fun. One BGSU student is showing she has what it takes to be a circus performer. Molly Wells joins us live in the newsroom with more. Molly?
Thanks, Sheree. BGSU Circus Arts Club hosts an aerial silk night about once a month. Participants learn skills such as climbing, twisting, and spinning on silk-like fabrics. Amelia Chapman began the club after numerous students approached her asking her to teach them. She says the club brings new experiences that anyone can try.
Don't be afraid to do it. Just put yourself out there. You'll never know what you're great at until you try it.
I actually had the chance to try out these aerial silk skills myself, and let me tell you, it's a workout. But the club also has other circus interests that others can try, such as one member who's a unicyclist. Sheree?
Many people celebrate the coming of spring by cleaning. Others celebrate with a splash of bright powdered colors. Members of the India Students Association gathered at the Food and Color. It commemorates the coming of spring, new beginnings, and the triumph of good over evil. Laughter and powder filled the air as students coated themselves in various neon colors. Dancing to festive music followed.
Holi is actually on the first day of Holi. They light up a fire, and we do a little bit of puja that we pray to God on the first day of Holi. And then the second day of Holi, it's called Dhuleti, and this is where we just have a lot of fun with colors.
The colors are used as a representation of spreading love and filling their lives with happiness. Everyone knows about March Madness, but there's a new twist, Marchery Madness. Workers from Wood happened at William Henry Park in Pemberville. The focus was on body posture and aiming, including hitting moving ball targets.
Oh, man, getting good. Oh, boy. Good. All right, guys.
I love archery is one of those sports that's super diverse. Anybody can do it, and there's all sorts of even different techniques and even adaptive gear to get everybody involved. I get all sorts of different age groups. Today I had a kid who was 5, and then I had a man who was in his 40s.
1 point and it's snake, it's straight.
From the curling ice to the baseball diamond, Mother Nature is playing havoc with the BGSU Falcon schedule. David Bray joins us with the latest in sports. David?
Thanks, Sheree. A couple of firsts for the BGSU baseball team last weekend. The Falcons got their first conference win of the season after beating Ohio 6-4 on Friday. That gave them the chance to win their first series of the season. Head coach Danny Schmitz knew it would be tough for several reasons.
Well, Ohio's going to be a very good team. You know, obviously they won the conference tournament last year. You know, they're one of the favorites this year. So, you know, we're going to have to come out and be ready to go. And same thing is executing the 3 phases.
After taking the first game of the series on Friday, the Falcons were looking to win the series on Saturday. But the Bobcats had other plans for Game 2. The Falcons put up 6 runs on 10 hits Friday, but were only able to muster up 3 runs on 8 hits Saturday. Defense turned out to be the downfall for the Falcons in Game 2. In addition to the Bobcats' 11 runs on 12 hits, the Falcons committed 5 errors on defense. After Game 2, Coach Schmitz said that they did not play well in any of the 3 phases and that Ohio came out prepared to play. But Coach Schmitz expected his team to come out with a lot of energy Sunday as they still had a chance to win their first series on the season in Game 3. With redshirt senior Tyler Anderson on the mound, the Falcons looked to execute all 3 phases of baseball in Game 3. The Falcons scored 3 runs through the first 5 innings behind Anderson's strong showing on the mound. In the top of the 6th, the Bobcats threatened the Falcons' lead by scoring their first run of the day off of Anderson. After going 5 innings and 2/3 and giving up 1 run on 7 hits, senior pitcher Cody Brown came into the game to relieve Anderson. Quickly escaping the danger in the 6th, Brown found himself in cruise control for the remainder of the game, throwing 3 1/3 hitless innings, earning the Falcons their first series win this season and Coach Schmitz's 700th win in his career.
Congratulations on win number 700, Coach.
Coach Schmitz believes that if the Falcons are able to complete his methodology in the form of the 3 phases of baseball, pitching, hitting, and defense, then they should be in contention to win every game they play. In Game 2, the Falcons were not able to execute all the 3 phases. However, in Game 3, that was a different story. The Falcons were able to execute all 3 phases and get their first series win on the season. Not only that, they were able to get Coach Schmitz his 700th career win overall.
Yeah, that means the Falcons had a great weekend, and you know, to take 2 out of 3 from Ohio U, which is an outstanding ball club. Another great college ball game today. Very proud of the effort of the team. You know, the pitching of Tyler Anderson and Cody Brown were phenomenal.
The Falcons are now 7-17 on the season after completing a come-from-behind win against the Fort Wayne Mastodons yesterday. The Falcons will look to continue on their schedule and the success as they take on Eastern Michigan tomorrow. Since the winter
Now we drop this right hand.
Pouring, single whips, and arm circles. These Tai Chi
body
moves
and
in
help mind. We'll have both, and the key may be simple exercises. Parker Kern found out just how simple during a workout.
Were featured at Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds at Carter Historic Farm in Bowling Green on Tuesday afternoon. Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds is an opportunity for individuals from Bowling Green and surrounding communities to relax and build community with one another.
Toe facing straight ahead.
Meetings usually begin with 10 minutes of stretching and warm-up exercises, followed by Tai Chi for the remainder of the hour.
Well, every week we meet together and we're doing Tai Chi, 24 movement Yang form. And we're working on balance, strength, coordination. It's about inner awareness of the body to greater expand the outer awareness.
Healthy Bodies, Healthy Minds is a relaxed and informal group that focuses on physical and mental wellness.
Messer breaks down the movements piece by piece. This approach and relaxed pace makes the material easy for participants to digest and is changing their lives for the better.
It's been a wonderful experience. Because Tai Chi is such a slow movement, it kind of de-stresses you, and with everything going on that I have at home and with my parents, it just helps to de-stress, and it's been a tremendous help for that. I really look forward to coming every week.
Participants come prepared and ready to learn and leave with a little something new every week.
Over to the left. Press up slowly.
Since the Winter Olympics ended last month, new sports have gained a new popularity. One of those is curling, but curling has enjoyed a high popularity here in Bowling Green for a long time. Mimi Miller found out why.
After the U.S. Olympic curling team won gold, there has recently been a surge of people interested in the sport.
This is my first year.
Yet many do not know about it or have access to a curling center nearby.
My husband and I started a Learn to Curl, just like what's going on tonight. We did that, and then we got in a 3-week starter league last year, and then this is the first year we are members.
However, local residents are fortunate enough to have the Bowling Green Curling Center just minutes away.
And then now with having our new facility here, I do come down other nights when I'm not curling just for socializing, just to see people. So it's not just about the sport.
The center has been open for 1 year, but BG curlers have been shuffling on the ice for half a century.
Let it go, let it go, let it go.
What started as a club that met at the BGSU Ice Arena has grown to accommodate the community.
Well, it's something that my husband and I can do together. It's people of all ages, people of all capability. Everyone's just out here to have fun, and it's community.
Their love for the game and social interaction with others is what keeps the center up and running. The center is managed on a volunteer basis.
Usually from a volunteer standpoint, everybody knows what needs to be done, and then people will just volunteer to help out in whatever area it is, whether it's preparing the ice, working inside here, even just cleaning and that.
The BG Curling Club members who operate the center have high hopes for the sport in the future.
Whether you're young or old, new or experienced, curling can be for you. For Falcon 5 News, I'm Mimi Miller.
The Curling Club is located on Highway 25. Since we're talking about lambs, the month of March came in like a lamb, but Shalon Stevens will tell us if that means it will go out like a lion. She joins us now with the Falcon 5 forecast. Shalon?
Thank you, Sheree.
So here we are as we look at our weather forecast for the week. Friday we are at 48 degrees. Saturday we see that it's going to be an 80% chance of, rain. As we go into Sunday for Easter, we do see that we are at 41 degrees, so it is going to be sunny for Easter Sunday. As we go into Monday, we see that it is going to be sunny again. We're almost at 50 degrees. It is a 10% chance of rain. And then Tuesday, we do have a 70% chance of rain and no sun, just 53 degrees slightly. So that is all for the weather forecast. Coming up, we will have a segment from Errands Everywhere.
Traveling across Ohio and across the region, finding new places and meeting new people with interesting stories to share with you. Come along for Erin is Everywhere.
Tonight on Errands Everywhere, reporter Erin Kelly takes us to Kentucky. She visited the Fort Hill Sheep Farm to find out more on expecting ewes.
Surrounded by rolling hills, this homestead is over a century old, and inside, an 85-year-old farmer's granddaughter lives with memories from her farming days.
We had some sheep, and of course, if you have sheep, you're going to have orphan lambs. And so one of my jobs was to feed the lamb, and we had a nipple that was about that long and an RC Cola bottle, and you put the milk in the RC Cola bottle, put it in a pan of warm water to heat it up, and then you put the nipple on and then took it out and fed the lamb. And so my mom took a picture of me, which was published in Playmate magazine. and then, you know, in my adult years, we had a dairy, and we had Angus cows, and we raised tobacco, and you know, so we didn't have any more sheep. And just recently, we have gotten sheep on the farm, and they are just precious little animals.
Chris loves to fall asleep to the sound of lambs, which turns out to be a good thing because she leases her 200 acres out to James and Lynn, who raise more than 900 of them.
I was a field hockey player in high school, so I had no idea I was training to be a shepherd, but I'm pretty good with that left-hand lunge.
That lunge sure comes in handy when trying to get sheep ready for lambing season. They put 8 rams in a pasture of 100 ewes for a month to get them all pregnant, and then they take the rams to a different herd of ewes for the next month. Mothers usually carry twins, but in some instances, she delivers 3, which can lead to orphan lambs.
One year we had an orphan, and I brought it home later in the evening, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I put it in the basement with our Australian Shepherd dog. Her name was Missy, and in the morning they were snuggled up together, and that lamb followed that dog around for months. And she's still here. We call her Little Miss.
Spring is the time for new beginnings, and here in Danville, Kentucky, they look forward to bluegrass, blossoming flowers, and precious little lambs like this one. His mother was expecting for about 5 months. Then he was brought into this stable where he will be bottle fed for 1 month and then reunited with all of his little lamb friends. Reporting for Falcon 5 News, I'm Erin Kelly.
You may not have caught this, but baby lambs wiggle their tails while nursing, and that lets the mother know they're happy with their milk supply. This week on Falcon 5 Focus, Animals Without Homes and How You Can Help. McKenna Rodriguez joins us with this special guest. McKenna?
Thanks, Sheree. I'm here with Megan Smith. She's from the Wood County Humane Society. Hi, Megan. Hi. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So can you just, you're from the Wood County Humane Society. Can you just give me a little brief description on what exactly does the Wood County Humane Society do?
Well, there's nothing brief about it, but we focus on helping animals find their forever homes, are working on spay and neuter initiatives for stray animals in the area or cats in the area, and then helping people with volunteer hours, but primarily finding animals who need homes, whether it's through owner surrenders animals who can't be cared for by their owners anymore, bringing animals in from other shelters, because we are limited admission, which means we don't euthanize for space, which is amazing.
Right.
So we do help shelters out who need to do that. And then we work with Humane Ohio as well, too, for low-cost spay and neuter.
Gotcha. So what, like, obviously dogs, cats, what other animals, is that what it's limited to, or yes?
Yeah, so if, I don't know if you guys have ever spoken with a group on campus, the Friends of the Wood County Humane Society, but yeah, we're very small. So we do primarily house cats and dogs. We do find ourselves in extreme situations where we do have pocket pets occasionally, but mostly cats and dogs.
Gotcha. So what is it that drew you to working at the Humane Society?
So I reached out when they were looking for someone to help with outreach programs, speaking and things like that. If you can tell, it wasn't really my cup of tea, but they kept me on board and helping with adoptions, because there's something so amazing about getting to help that person find that forever pet. So.
Speaking more on adoptions, what is that adoption process like for someone that, can they just walk in and do it that day, or is it more of like, you know, more paperwork affiliated? How does that go?
So we actually recently worked with the Humane Society of the United States on a program called Adopters Welcome, which means it is same-day adoptions. And that really benefits us because we get a lot of out-of-state or a lot of town adopters, and we don't want them to make them wait just to come back. But we do encourage to always take some time and not to on-the-fly adopt a pet. There's a quick questionnaire to make sure we can find a pet that matches your needs. And then with an adoption fee and a quick agreement, you can take that pet home.
Awesome. So if, say, I wanted to adopt an animal, but I wasn't quite sure and I wanted to bond with that animal a little bit, am I able to just go in there like a couple days during the week and hang out with the pets, or is that?
Yeah, definitely. We have a free roaming cat room, which is amazing, not only for the cats, because it's a little less stressful, but for visitors as well, too. And then dogs, we do have a private bonding area, so you can meet one-on-one.
Gotcha. So what advice would you give to, I mean, I'm a college student. I don't have a lot of time on my hands, but I say I really want an animal. How do you go about connecting people with animals and getting them aware of how serious it is to take care of a pet?
Yeah, this is actually something we run into quite frequently. We understand a lot of college students are so excited about that newly found freedom. So we definitely encourage them to realize that it is not only a weekly experience, but it's a day by day, every minute, every hour that you have that animal. So maybe start by volunteering to see if you're ready for the commitment that it takes and those special needs. But then remembering that it's not only the time that you have to spend with the animal, it's also a very monetary based responsibility as well too.
Gotcha, yeah. So, for instance, what if someone adopts an animal and they just feel it's too overwhelming? Are they able to bring it back, or how does that process go?
Yeah, so something we always make clear to all our adopters is our goal is to find a forever home, but we understand that it takes a few tries to find that forever home. So we want to make sure that you feel comfortable enough to reach out to us. As I always say during my adoption meetings is we're a great resource to help, but if you find having a pet is not meant for you, give us a call, and with an appointment we can set up and there's space available. So.
Gotcha. So I'm not sure if that happens often. Is that something that happens often, or?
It comes in waves, it feels like. You always feel like there's a time where you see a few faces coming back. Especially during those summer months when families are traveling and they forget the responsibility of a pet. And sometimes it's just stray animals, but it happens, and we never hold it against the adopter because, like I said, we don't know each animal personally, so we could expect one thing, they get them home, and it's a completely different animal. So
right, yeah. So any other advice on picking the right pet for you? Because like I said, I don't have a pet and I would like one, but I just don't know if I'm sure on what if I want a cat or if I want a dog. Like, I don't know, what advice would you give to somebody that just they want something to love but they don't know which one they want to love?
So I know as students you aren't going to be too happy to hear this, but research.
Yeah.
Don't always go based on breed alone because we don't necessarily know a dog's breed or an animal's breed, but it does help with characteristics. But also then stop by visiting. And maybe just start by volunteering then too, because volunteers do get a little extra access than those visitors do to the animals.
So what is this extra access that you talk about for volunteering? Like if I wanted to volunteer, what are the things that I would be helping out with, like around the Humane Society?
That's great. So as a volunteer, we do have some kenneled cats because they don't do well on that free roaming area. So as a volunteer, you have the ability to just open that kennel and hold that cat and take them into another room to play with them. Or sometimes we have dogs who aren't quite ready for adoption yet. As a visitor, you don't get to meet with those animals, but as a volunteer, you can leash that dog up and go and take it to play. And plus, we are a little bit more candid with the volunteers than we are with visitors, so you get a little additional insider secrets that I can't even share here.
Oh, yeah, well, maybe our viewers will want to come and volunteer to know what those little insights are. Gotcha. So you talk about different like organizations that the Humane Society is a part of, including one here on Bowling Green. Can you give me a little bit more information about that?
Yeah, that's actually an organization here on campus. It's called the Friends of the Wood County Humane Society, and they're primarily a volunteer group, but they also do numerous fundraisers for us throughout the year. I actually think they have one coming up in April. It's a Chipotle burrito eating contest.
Oh.
Or it's Qdoba. Oh no, it might be Qdoba. It's a burrito eating contest. That's
we can't say which one.
No, we can't say which one, but it's a burrito. And the proceeds go to us. So if you want to help out and you can't make it to the Humane Society, that's a great way to help here too. So.
Gotcha. So where are you guys located?
Oh yeah, we are at 801 Van Camp here in Bowling Green. So if you go to Kroger and you go a little bit past, almost like you're going to the cinema, the movie theater, there's a little road that just cuts off to the side by Cooper Tire, and that's Van Camp.
Gotcha. And you said that it is a small location, so do you know approximately how many animals you guys can hold? Or?
So it varies from time to time because we make our space work, but we could have about 30 cats in our cat room at any given time, and we do have 12 dog kennels.
Oh, wow.
And that's just available animal space, but that's not including our foster capabilities. So.
And what do you mean by foster capabilities?
So we have volunteers who don't come into shelter, but they house animals in shelter, or in their homes.
Oh, okay.
So like during kitten season, for example, we could have upwards of just 30 kittens in foster who aren't even in the shelter. So.
Oh, okay. That's nice to have that since it is just a small facility to, I mean, you get extra help in housing animals that need homes, definitely. So can you give us any other information on, just if you want to be a volunteer, can you tell our viewers how they can go about that process?
Yeah, you would just go to woodcountyhumanesociety.org and click the Get Involved link, and it all starts online. So.
All right, well, sounds good. I guess what else I can ask you is, do you yourself have many pets?
I actually have one myself. She came from the Humane Society, which I don't think is a surprise to anybody working there. And she's one of those cases who wasn't doing well in shelter. So she actually started as a foster with me, and I just ended up adopting her. Her name is Tess. If you go online to our Facebook page, Wood County Humane Society, and scroll through years past, you can definitely probably find her picture along with pictures of animals in our care, both past and present.
Okay, so you can definitely look up pictures on your Facebook page of animals there that are ready to be adopted.
Oh yeah, yep.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, Megan. This is our Falcon 5 Focus. Thank you.